Hey, welcome back to our vlog channel. I wanted to share with you something that I'm super passionate about, and that is vision boards. I get asked a lot about vision boards and how we make them and why they work, and they seem kind of hokey. Yeah, I thought the same thing, but it's something that I've learned actually makes a really big difference in the direction we're going. And the reason why vision boards work is it takes your goals and puts them in visual form. It does something to our brains when we can actually visually see what we're working towards. I know a lot of people make goals or resolutions and they kind of just mentally take note of those, like I want to lose weight, or I want to get up every day at 6 a.m. or I want a promotion this year, but they don't really do anything besides it floating around in the brain. You need to actually get it out on paper. You need to visually put it somewhere where you can see, and not just the words, but pictures. It actually helps to kind of get in the moment and visually see where you're going and feel what it's going to feel like when you get there. That really helps your brain stay on track and to stay like focused on where you're going. So I want you to think of the quote, "A goal without work is just a dream." I think that's the quote, something like that. And the whole point of that quote is like, if you don't know where you're going, you're not gonna go anywhere. Like, you can't get to a destination you wanna go to by accidentally wandering there. I mean, maybe you could, but it would take a long time, right? Like, you're like, hey, I wanna go to Disneyland. I'm just gonna get in the car and just start driving. Maybe you'll end up at Disneyland. It might be a long time, but if you have no direction of where you're going, you're not going to go anywhere very fast. And so having a vision board kind of keeps you on track throughout the entire year of what your goals are and what you're working for and where you're going. So I'm going to tell you how you create them, and so you can utilize this for yourself. Something I want you to think about. We do this with our kids, okay? So we have like a couples vision board we do together, but we also have done this for our children. So our kids also do this. Don't think that this is just for adults. Do it for kids. And it was so fun to see our kids check these things off. So do these with everybody in the family. I'm going to give you kind of a guide, okay? There's gonna be like 3 to 4 different areas that you can make for your vision board, okay? The first area is like personal and relationships, and family. So this is kind of one big category, and this is anything that you personally want to work on individually, something you want to work on as a couple, something you want to work on as a family. So this is where you can have goals such as, for our family, it's doing scripture study every day, going to the temple once a month individually or as a couple. We have a young baby right now, so it's either individually or as a couple if we can figure that out, but also one time a month with Kira now that she's old enough to go to the temple. So those are like family goals. Like I said, daily scripture study, or we have homeschool. So we have homeschool goals. So that's your personal, couple, family type goals. Next category is your job and finances. So what are your jobs in your career, and what are your financial goals? Do you have goals to pay off debt? Do you have goals to get a promotion? Do you have goals to grow your business? Whatever it is, what are those goals, okay? And the third criteria area that I do is like health, like self-care. How am I going to care for my health this year? You can do additional categories. If you find something that's not in those 3, make an additional category. And I want you to write these down, okay? So that's what we do first. We take these categories and we write them down. Where are we going as a couple? Where are we going as a family? Where are we going personally? What are those goals we have? Write them down. Next, you're gonna write down your work and financial goals. Where do we want to go? Do we want a promotion? Do we want to grow our business? How much income do we want to make this year? Do we want to get a bonus? Very, very detailed, okay? The more detailed you get, the better it is. Your brain works for details rather than vagueness. It kind of can give you some stepping stones, and we're going to talk about that in a sec. And then last, for health. What do you want? Are you going to work out every day? Are you going to eat and fuel your body with things that make you feel good? Are you going to get up at a certain time and have time for yourself? Are you going to take a bath every day? Are you going to, sit in peace and do for an hour? Whatever it is, write it down, be specific. Okay, and if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, but all I know is I feel stressed and I don't want to feel stressed. Okay, well, what do you want to feel? This is the other way you can go about it. What are some feelings you want? Do you want more peace in your life? Do you want more freedom? Do you want like more happiness? Okay, take those feelings, what would bring that for you? If you're stressed, what's stressing you out? What can you do to alleviate that stress? Is that more self-care? Is that taking time for yourself? Is that allowing yourself to sit for an hour on the couch and not have to think about the things you should be doing? Whatever it is that gets you your feeling, that is the goal, okay? So there's a couple ways you can go about it, and we kind of do a little bit of both. So we have like our very clear where we're going, but we also have, we want more. For instance, my word of the year is discipline, and that's something else you can do is pick a word. And the reason I picked that is, you know, I'm visualizing the life that we want, and I literally visualize structure, and I visualize being disciplined. So that's my word for the year. I'm visualizing this, you know, like a routine that we have, and what I want our home to feel like, and what our day to feel like, and that revolves around some sort of structure. So taking that is what then helps us figure out our goals for the year, okay? So that's what you're gonna first start out with. You're going to list out your goals, you're going to think about the feelings you wanna feel and what goals would help you have that feeling. Next, I want you to literally visualize. For instance, we are going on a Bahamas cruise in March, and I love the Bahamas. They're like my favorite place on earth. There's a place called the Blue Lagoon Island in Bahamas. I've been a couple times, and I want to go there again when we go on our cruise. It's like my favorite place on earth right now. So when I'm talking about going and doing these things, I'm visualizing being in the Blue Lagoon and what we're gonna do and what it feels like to feel that soft white sand on my feet, to think about like the heat that's touching me and the smells of the salt water and the palm trees and the taste of the coconut that I'm gonna drink out of. You know, and my husband with me and my little baby with me, and what that's gonna be like, how warm the water is, how clear the water is. Get very, very clear. And then you're gonna go find a picture that represents that the best. And you're going to stick that picture on a board. And we're gonna talk about how and what board and all that in a minute. But you're gonna do that for every single one of your goals. You're gonna find a picture that best represents what you are going for. Okay, so what depicts the feeling you're going for. And the reason this is so important is the feeling that you feel is going to drive you to achieve that goal. And when you get there, your brain, it's actually going to behave as though you're already there. You're going to do the actions to get you there. And when you get there, it is so gratifying because you've lived this experience all year long visualizing it. Okay, now you have gone through every single one of your goals and you've visualized it, like literally lived as though you have already accomplished it and what it feels like to have that accomplished. Whether that's that structure, whether that's the consistency of the self-care, whether that's, you know, paying off that debt or that car, or whether it's going on that vacation, whatever it is, you've already experienced it because you visualized it and you felt how amazing that's going to feel when you accomplish it. So you find those pictures, and now we're going to stick those pictures on a board. And I am such a digital person. I love paper and I lose paper. So I like everything digitally. So there is an app called Hay House, and it's literally a vision board app, and it's so simple. Looks like a cork board, and you're gonna simply upload the photos that you went on Google and found, and you're gonna upload them directly onto your Hay House app, and you can arrange them however you want. I know that there's some people who arrange them a certain way. Honestly, I arrange them however feels best for me. So like my biggest goal for me goes dead center, because that's like where my eye goes naturally for me. So you pick what flows and feels best for you, and you just arrange those pictures. I also like to put the words that are with those pictures. So it's not just like the pictures of the Blue Lagoon. I have go to the Bahamas on there. So we have our income goal, we have our business goal, we have our house goal, our family goals, our personal goals, but they also have a little blurb, you know, like late nights with the kids each week. So we do a late night with each individual kid. It's on there, late night with each kid every week. Go on one date a week as a couple. Go to the temple once a month with Kira, once a month individually. This is our income goal. This is our business goal. Go to Indianapolis, go to Waco. You know, so all these things are just arranged how I feel, but they also have the wording across them, okay? So I will show you ours so you can get an example of what I'm talking about, but I love the Hay House one. You can then like export it and save it as your screensaver. You can print it off. What you want to do is have it somewhere where you see it. So if that means you want to print it off and stick it on your fridge and stick it on your bathroom mirror and stick it in your office, put it somewhere in your bedroom, somewhere where you walk past often and you see it, because what's that going to do? It's going to remind you, hey, remember that self-care you wanted to do? You said you wanted to do it. Here it is. Remember what you're going to feel like, because the picture you picked represents what you want to feel like when you accomplish that self-care. Yeah, you need to do that. So it just makes everything very real, but you need to have that somewhere where you can visually see it. So I'm a digital person, like I said. I keep it on my phone as a screensaver. I keep it in my photos under favorites. I have it, I have had it printed off on my desk, which I need to do again. But wherever works for you that you're going to see it often, that's what I suggest. So kind of very simple really, but I think people tend to overcomplicate it, or they think, oh, I shouldn't do that. That's too realistic. This is my last little blurb I'm going to do on this. You guys, I want you to think huge. I hear a lot, well, I don't want to dream big because I want to be realistic. You guys, unless it's never happened before, it is realistic. So if you are dreaming of going to Bora Bora, it's my dream, dreaming of going to Bora Bora, it's not unrealistic to put that on your board. It's not like Bora Bora has never been visited before, right? Bora Bora is not on Mars, where no person has ever visited. It is literally possible. There's nothing stopping you from going to Bora Bora except for yourself. And whether that means you need to save money or you need to change your mindset about how you make the money to pay for Bora Bora, whatever it is possible if it has been accomplished before. So do not limit yourself with, I need to be realistic. Realistic is, if it's been accomplished before, you can do it. It's not impossible. Your brain is telling you it's impossible. So reality is whatever you want it to be. And if you want to go to Bora Bora, then put it on your vision board and you figure out how to make it happen, okay? So make big, huge goals. Goals that you think are probably unattainable and crazy, and watch what happens, okay? But I don't want you to put it on there and be like, I have no idea how I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave it there on the board and hope that magically it happens, okay? I totally believe in, you know, the universe or God or whatever higher source of power you identify with. I believe that that is very real, and what you put out will come to you as long as you're putting that energy out there and you're looking for it, okay? So when you have these huge goals, you need to be looking for ways to make those happen. Reverse engineer them. If you have, you know, this amount of money you want to save or this amount of money of debt you want to pay off, you need to reverse engineer the whole year to say, okay, I want to pay off $10,000 by the end of the year. How can I make this bite size so that I get to $10,000 at the end of the year? Break it down into quarters. Okay, every quarter I need to pay off, you know, $2,500. Okay, that means I need to pay off how much per month? $750 or whatever that is. I can't do the math. How can I break that down into weekly? You can even break it down into daily if you need to, but the whole point is to make it so you actually take actionable steps towards your goals, and you're visually reminding yourself every single day that you see this, okay? And remember how good it's going to feel when you pay off that $10,000. So make huge goals, reverse engineer them, put it out into the universe, and I promise you it will happen. It is like when you go to name a kid, or you decide to get a certain car, all of a sudden you see someone with that name all over the place, and you see someone driving that car all over the place. Because why? You've put it out into the universe that you like this name or you like this car, and all of a sudden everybody else has it because you're looking for it. Your brain is like, hey, you were thinking about that. Remember that? There it is. There it is. There it is. So all the things you dream about are there. You've just got to be thinking about them to make it a reality. So that's my last little spiel on goals that go with your vision boards. Do not limit yourself. Dream huge, because in a few years like us, you will die at what you've accomplished. Because when we set our first vision board, we thought it was crazy, and now we look back and we're like, oh my gosh, like that is crazy. We've checked everything off, and that is like little now, because everything just gets bigger and bigger, and it's the best thing ever. So if you liked this video, make sure you subscribe, and please share it with your friends, because I promise you guys, vision boards can literally change the course of your life and change everything about where you're going. So share with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you make a vision board. I'd love for you to share it with me, because I love seeing where people are going.